Good morning, Shaklee family. Welcome to Las Vegas, and thank you for being here. Many of you have traveled from across the country and around the globe. In fact, you come from every single state of America and at least 7 countries. And while we may come from different places, we all have one thing in common. We are all part of what I believe will become the most important force for change in the world today. And in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you about the phenomenal new movement we're launching to change healthcare around the world. Now, I know that's a pretty extraordinary statement, but then Shaklee has always done the extraordinary. And one of the most extraordinary things humans have ever done is to go into space. And Shaklee has long had a part in helping astronauts do just that. 50 years ago, Buzz Aldrin was the second man to ever walk on the moon. And I called him this past Saturday, which is 50 years to the day of his historic moon landing, and we had quite a chat. And to be honest, I'm still a little starstruck or moonstruck or whatever one calls when you speak to the only living human being who was on that first space mission. Buzz was really incredible. And when I told him his moonwalk was such an inspiration, he said, "Roger, I'm not interested in the past. I'm interested in what we can do now about changing the future." And at 89 years old, that is truly a remarkable statement. When our country needed something to rally around, President John F. Kennedy inspired us to put a man on the moon. And we did. He showed us how we can achieve the impossible when we unite in a single vision and then activate enough people behind it. When Buzz and Neil Armstrong took that one small step for man, it truly was a giant leap for mankind, and the world changed forever. Let's all look to that time as inspiration for doing the extraordinary. What if all of us united to transform healthcare? That's huge, and when we do, and we will, it will change the world. And today, we are launching an incredible new Shaklee program. That is the simplest way to have everyone you know take their first step to a healthy, thriving life. Do you want to know more? Okay, but first I have to share the reasons why this new program is so badly needed, why it's essential, not just to your business, but to the well-being of people all around the world. See, today in the United States and in most countries around the world, our only interaction with healthcare is when we're sick. Healthcare is when you see your doctor for a problem or go to the hospital when you have an even bigger problem. Today, healthcare is really sick care. No? And the United States spends more money than any other country in the world on healthcare, more than $3 trillion a year. And not only is the United States #1 in absolute dollars, we spend more as a percentage of our total economy than any other country in the world. And that would be okay if we were #1 in caring for our people. But sadly, that's not the case. This is a ranking of the healthcare systems by country. The US isn't #1.
We aren't even in the top 10 for the healthiest countries, or the top 20. The United States, the most powerful economy in the world, is number 35 behind Estonia. And unfortunately, 90% of our spending, which is close to $3 trillion, is spent on the last 6 months of a person's life. But what if those $3 trillion went instead into education and infrastructure and investments of new technologies for the future? If everyone lived the Shaklee lifestyle, they could. And each one of you is living proof of how profound a change this can be. Because what you do, what we are all doing together at Shaklee, is transforming healthcare from sick care to well care. And we've been doing just that for over 100 years. When Dr. Shaklee invented the first multivitamin in the United States 104 years ago, he pioneered in a new model of healthcare, one based on prevention, on living in harmony with nature, and harnessing the almost magical way our bodies have of staying healthy if they're fueled with the right nutrients, which are Shaklee nutrients, of course. Now, for those of you that this is your first Shaklee conference, watch this, it's quite extraordinary. If you have been taking Shaklee products for 50 years or more, please stand up now and stay standing, okay? Let's add, stay standing, let's add, if you've been taking Shaklee products for 40 years or more, stand up. 30 years or more. 20 years or more. 10 years or more. Like Dr. Shaklee, each of you are true pioneers in sharing this idea of wellness with others and showing people how they can live an alternative, thriving life. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. See, you have the knowledge of a secret path that can impact the well-being of tens of millions of people around the world. It's just time to not keep it a secret any longer. The hallmark of our company has always been to be a pioneering trailblazer with breakthrough innovation backed by clinical proof with their relentless focus on quality. In fact, we are the only company in the world that has actual clinical proof that there is a real, affordable, accessible way to live in the world of well care, not in the world of sick care. And to do so, not just for 1 month or 1 year, but for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and more. A little over 10 years ago, Shaklee commissioned the UC Berkeley School of Public Health to do a massive study unlike any other conducted. And our goal was to find out just how effective Shaklee nutritional supplementation really is. To that point, we had many studies that proved that a particular Shaklee product would have a specific impact on your health. But we never had a comprehensive, holistic comparison of the effect of multiple Shaklee products over time versus the competition. And we wanted to do that study in a way that would provide irrefutable, undeniable scientific proof of the Shaklee difference.
But there was a catch. To do this, we had to agree that we would give up all control over the publication of the results. If the results were bad, they would be published for the entire world to see. That's what you call a bet the company risk. And for pretty much every other company in the world, it would be considered fundamentally reckless. And this was when I just joined Shaklee. So before we agreed to these terms, I sat down with our scientists and I looked them in the eye. And I said, how confident are you that when we stack up our products against multiple supplements from other companies, that there will be a measurable, meaningful, and massive difference in the health outcomes of Shaklee versus others? We have awesome scientists in Shaklee. We have awesome scientists. And they said, we are confident that we have created superior products that will have superior outcomes. And I said, well, you didn't mention the word massive, but because you're a scientist and you speak science language, I'm going to take that a yes. And I green-lighted this project. Okay. And boy, the results not only showed how superior we were, they were so profound. They shined a light on a pathway to a healthier life that has the potential to change healthcare around the world. And that is when I truly realized for the first time how profound an impact we can make on people's lives everywhere. This incredible study, which we call the Landmark Health Study, has continued for more than a decade. What other nutritional company in the world follows their customers for more than 10 years? And the latest results of the study will be published this fall. Tomorrow, you're going to get a lot more detail in our science symposium. But let's take a look at a summary of these results. I want you to remember 4 things. 1, whether it's brain, heart, weight, blood sugar, inflammation, virtually every important health metric is substantially better in the Shaklee population. 2, the Shaklee people rated their own health to be good to excellent at nearly double the rate of others. That means, as a percentage, Shaklee people are twice as likely to feel amazing than the non-Shaklee participants. 3, at every age group, Shaklee people use between 83 and 97% less prescription medication than others. And finally, 4, what the study proved is that the longer you take Shaklee supplements, the healthier you stay. But even if you only take them for a year or 30 days, you get results that are off the Richter scale. Now, and we didn't just compare the Shaklee population to people who took no supplements, because that would be unfair. Actually, be too easy, okay? We compare them with people who took another multivitamin. But not just that. We compare them with people who took 2 supplements, more than 2 supplements. Basically, we compare them to almost every supplement taker there is. And we crushed it. In every single instance, our results showed a massive difference in health outcomes. Come on, folks. Then we did a projection of what this would mean if the entire US population had the same health outcomes as our Shaklee people. And it would allow us as a country to save close to $1 trillion a year. I don't think you heard me. It would allow us to save $1 trillion a year. But more importantly, it would allow us to transform healthcare from sick care to well care and allow everyone to thrive. And that's the power. That's the power what you hold in your hands. That's what we have to share with other people. You see, part of the reason why the Shaklee population was so much healthier is that Shaklee is more than just our products. You, our Shaklee family, have the knowledge and information about better choices. You have the Shaklee products to deliver clinically proven results in a simple, convenient, and affordable way. And you have and are the Shaklee community to encourage people and inspire people to take that first step and continue in their journey to a healthier life. Now, in case I haven't done a good enough job explaining to you how massively monumental this is, let me share a story about the winner of the Nobel Prize in Medicine, Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, who is also the chairman of our scientific advisory board. When Dr. Blackburn first reviewed the results of the landmark study, I didn't know what she was going to say. She's a self-described data geek. She was kind of vibrating with excitement, and she told me, Roger, you have the most beautiful data from people from all parts of the country, all different demographics, all different socioeconomic classes. And look at the results. Look at how healthy they are. Then, fast forward a couple of months, and Dr. Blackburn and I were sitting in the audience at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, when the head of the United States National Institutes of Health announced that they're going to do a 10-year study to identify the components of a preventive, healthy lifestyle. And he went on to say that they were looking for 1 million people to be part of the study and participate in it. So, of course, I immediately raised my hand. And I said, Dr. Blackburn, I'm going to volunteer 500,000 Shaklee people to be part of the study because I know our Shaklee family members will want to do anything they can to help people find a healthier, better way to live. And she literally pulled my arm down and said, no, Roger, you can't. I said, what? Why not? She said, because the Shaklee population is simply too healthy. It'll skew all the data. It's kind of a little ironic. The National Institutes of Health of the United States of America is just now trying to discover the secret to what the body needs to live a healthier life so they can put more emphasis on prevention, and the results of their study won't come out for another 10 years, but you already know exactly what to share. And we can impact people's lives right now. And there's people out there that can't wait for 10 years. You don't need one. You may live in a big city or a rural community, It doesn't matter because every single person has the power to thrive. Every one of you. You remember the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? There were only 5 golden tickets, and everybody wanted one. Well, at Shaklee, we have an unlimited amount of golden tickets, and you have the power to give them out, millions of them. You are the key to helping others thrive one person at a time. Do you remember when each of us planted one tree? And as a result, together, our entire Shaklee family planted 1 million trees. And how our 1 million trees in turn inspired the United Nations to plant 6 billion trees. And therefore, as a result of your act of planting 1 tree, together, we have literally and figuratively changed the face of our planet. That's the power of what we can do if each of us does our part. Now, I am excited to announce a movement to transform healthcare around the world so people can live their fullest life. Because at Shaklee, we believe every human being has the right to thrive. And there is no better vehicle to make this happen than Shaklee. Think of what happens when you help just 5 people or 10 people live a healthier life. And now project that on to the 2 million members of the Shaklee family around the world. We really can make a difference. And each of you is now enrolled in a movement that will grow to be 10 million strong and beyond. Imagine the impact that you will have. We can truly help every person thrive to make your story everyone's story. So what would that really mean? It means that a little girl, instead of being asthmatic and not being able to go outside, will have the option to run and play and maybe one day grow up to represent women in world soccer, to change the perception of women in sports. It means that a couple who are just starting their life together can raise healthy children and have the energy to enjoy them. It means that a grandmother in her 80s, instead of being alone and isolated, is engaged in a world and in a community where her wisdom is valued and cherished. It means that anyone in this country or anywhere can start a business that has the potential to provide a quality life for themselves and future generations of their family. It means that professionals who want more freedom and flexibility in their lives, who value their time, can have more of it. But most of all, it means instead of living a life of just getting by, people can live a life where what you do matters, where what you're doing helps make the world better for everyone. A world where everyone has the right to thrive. That's what WellCare is. That's what Shaklee Care is. And that's what we have to offer. Because a movement of 2 million people is great. But a movement of 10 million people will change the course of history. So together we're creating a new future, a future where we lead a movement to transform healthcare from sick care to well care. A future where headlines instead of this read like this. A future where you can be proud of the legacy you are leaving for your family, proud of the difference you are making, a future where you are the light in your community, a future where you are living proof that you are sharing that with the world, where your rallying cry will be, "Come thrive with me," so that we can change sick care into well care and become the largest positive force for change the world has ever known. Thank you, Shaklee family.